Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale. Riley, it is a roll up your sleeves kind of day.
It's been busy, guys. I would say that we've seen a lot of rainfall already today, causing impacts across the area. We've unfortunately had we've had reports of flooded roadways, especially in Burke County. We've seen a lot of reports of rain gauges out of Columbia County, Richmond County, too. So all this rain that we've seen so far today is not even really connected to Helene. This is before the main event still is expected to arrive much later tonight into tomorrow. But this is the latest on Helene. It is now a Category 3 hurricane, so a major hurricane, and likely going to strengthen even more before it does eventually make landfall later this evening. So the Hurricane Center hasn't really changed the cone of uncertainty at all, really. Maybe a subtle shift east or west, but a very narrow cone means we have high confidence in where this thing is going because we have an upper level low that's going to be driving it. We have a stalled front. This is really the only place this system can go for the next 24, 36 hours. But one thing to know is that it's moving a lot faster. It's actually moving at about 20 miles an hour. Since this is going to be moving inland so quickly, this could still be a very strong tropical storm directly over metro Atlanta by around 8 a.m. Friday. And that's the thing, by early tomorrow morning, that's when the center is going to be parallel with us and we'll likely see our strongest winds from Helene. Now, this is new today, and I will say our tornado threat is higher for the rest of today than what we were anticipating. So the tornado threat has showed up a little bit sooner, and why you need to make sure you have your cell phone close by the rest of this afternoon and tonight. So highlighted in yellow, that's a tornado watch. Conditions are favorable for tornadoes to form, and unfortunately, we've already had a number of tornado warnings across the area today that we've had to do some cut-ins for. I would imagine there's many more cut-ins for us as we head into later this evening and tonight. And look at this severe weather outlook. This has actually been upgraded substantially for our area. So in places like Bamberg that has already seen 2 tornado warnings today, they are underneath an enhanced severe weather threat. So that's where we're expecting numerous tornadoes to be possible, highlighted in that enhanced area. You get into the slight area, we still have the chance for tornadoes here locally. It looks to be a good bet for tornadoes to happen too, and then that threat just gradually drops off the further you get inland and basically west of the center of that storm. So everybody underneath the tornado threat the rest of today and tonight, so make sure you keep that cell phone charged up and close by you to get those alerts. Here's our tropical storm warnings highlighted in blue. Highlighted in red, those are hurricane warnings. Hurricane warnings extend as far north as Macon, Georgia, believe it or not, folks. This is actually getting close to metro Atlanta to where they're extending those hurricane warnings. So we are expecting a very high wind threat from this system well inland as it races our way later tonight. Here's a look at our radar network, and we already have a couple of these tornado warnings just south of I-16, and that's going to be the concern as we continue into today. That tornadic environment does continue to push through. We have, currently speaking, a flash flood warning in effect for most of the Augusta metro, including Edgefield, portions of Columbia, Richmond, Burke, even Aiken County around North Augusta. We have a flash flood warning in effect, so make sure you're staying away from all those flooded roadways. These flash flooded warnings will stay in effect for several more hours. And take a look at these rain totals. We're actually already over 4 inches in Thompson, Daniel Field, Sandersville. Significant rain has fallen across the area, and we have a ton more rain that's going to show up later tonight. So moderate flood risk across the area, high flood risk highlighted in pink for anywhere west of the CSRA. Just expecting a lot of different impacts that it can have. Big impacts for us here locally. So taking you through it, there could be a lull late tonight around midnight before the main hurricane does arrive. This is 4:30 a.m. That's when we're seeing the worst of the weather in the way of torrential rainfall, really strong wind gusts, and potentially can't even rule out tornadoes through this time frame. Now, once we get to around, say, 9, 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, that storm is now racing north of us, and we're seeing improving weather throughout the day Friday. So it's going to be that time frame late tonight, early tomorrow morning to where we are expecting the worst impacts from the area. And take a look at these projected wind gust speeds for us here around Augusta. We're not likely going to see gusts over 30 miles an hour until after midnight tonight. So our strongest winds still anticipated through those overnight hours to where potentially they could be as high as 70 miles an hour. So a lot of different impacts, guys, and we're going to stay pretty busy here in the Weather Center the rest of this evening and tonight.
Wow.
Pretty busy. Yes, 4 inches at Daniel Field already. That is a lot of water. Yeah,
that
a lot
is.
of rain. Yeah, Riley. Well, thank you so much. We're going to be checking later with you with more updates at the end of the show, but thank you so much.
Sounds great. Thank you all for having me on, and definitely stay safe out there. Have our First Alert weather app. That's the best way to get these alerts for the rest of today.
Absolutely. Thank you, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you all.
So now